If Marvel's Avengers Doomsday really is coming together the way fans suspect, there's a strong chance it could introduce Anya Taylor-Joy back into the fold, this time officially as Magik in the MCU's main timeline. It wouldn't just be a fun cameo either. This could be Marvel's chance to not only tie the X-Men into the MCU, but also launch a brand new era of supernatural storytelling, especially if they decide to roll the New Mutants into the mix. And honestly, given what we saw in the Fantastic Four First Steps end credit scene, where RDJ's variant of Doctor Doom appears to be interacting with baby Franklin Richards, it's not a stretch to imagine that Doom might start targeting mutants with magical abilities like Illyana Rasputina for his grander plans. Even though there's no exact comic where Doom and Magik go head-to-head or team up, it's easy to imagine how Doom could manipulate someone like her. After all, we've already seen Doom try to use beings with godlike powers, like Franklin, in the comics, and Illyana's deep connection to Limbo makes her incredibly valuable to someone who deals in arcane knowledge and multiversal conquest. If Doom is setting the stage for Secret Wars or some larger cosmic plot, it would make perfect sense for him to try to exploit Magik's soul sword, her control over stepping discs, or even her dark alter ego, the Dark Child. She's basically a walking magical gate to hell and could be the key to tipping the scales in a mystical war. That potential alone is enough to make fans hope Anya Taylor-Joy returns. Because let's face it, she brought something really unique to Magik in the New Mutants. And while that movie didn't exactly set the world on fire, her performance stood out. So if Marvel decides to bring her back and place her in the center of the MCU's growing supernatural storylines, it could be huge. Especially now that Marvel seems to be leaning more into darker, magical, and multiversal threats, something we've seen in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Werewolf by Night, and even in the setup for Blade. Magik's also a perfect candidate to appear in a future Midnight Suns movie, which fans have been hoping to see ever since the video game came out. She's not just a mutant, she's a powerful sorceress with a tragic backstory, serious magical muscle, and ties to one of the darkest realms in the Marvel Universe. That puts her in the same sandbox as Ghost Rider, Blade, Nico Minoru, and of course, Doctor Strange. She already fits in with that crew in the game, and it would make total sense for her to do the same in the MCU. Just picture it. Earth is facing a rise in supernatural threats. Maybe it starts with an increase in demonic activity after the events of Multiverse of Madness, or something cracks open thanks to Blade's storyline. Doctor Strange realizes that this isn't something the Avengers can handle, so he decides to form the Midnight Suns. He recruits the heavy hitters of the dark arts, Blade, Ghost Rider, Nico Minoru, and then goes looking for someone who knows Limbo better than anyone. Enter Magik. At first, she's reluctant. She's seen what happens when you mess with Limbo and the dark forces that come with it. Even though she's powerful, she knows the toll that kind of power takes. But because she's also a protector at heart, she joins the team. And this opens the door for some seriously wild visuals, like her using stepping discs to warp the team across dimensions, or summoning her soul sword to cut through demonic energy while wrestling with her own inner darkness. She could be the one member of the team who understands just how thin the line is between control and chaos. This could also be a great chance to explore her struggle with becoming the Dark Child, something that has haunted her since her earliest comic appearances. In stories like the Magik miniseries, she battles the demon Belasco and slowly sees parts of her soul corrupted into bloodstones. And even though she eventually defeats him and takes control of Limbo, she's never fully free of that shadow. Having a villain in the Midnight Suns movie, maybe someone like Mephisto or Chthon, or even a corrupted variant of herself, try to tempt her into embracing her demonic side, could make for a powerful emotional arc. It could even mirror how Doom might try to do the same thing in Avengers Doomsday, or some larger multiversal plot. On the topic of Doom, even if we don't have a direct comic where he and Magik clash, the idea of him using her makes sense based on what we know of him. In Fantastic Four First Steps, it seems he's already trying to manipulate baby Franklin Richards, someone he's obsessed with in the comics. And if he's looking to gather or control beings with cosmic or magical potential, Magik would be a prime target. She's been through hell, literally, and still came out the other side, but that doesn't mean she's immune to manipulation. Doom is exactly the kind of villain who'd twist her inner doubts to his advantage. And all this makes even more sense when you look at Magik's comic history. She first appeared in Giant Size X-Men #1 back in 1975, although she was just Colossus's little sister at that point. Her real origin starts later, when she's kidnapped by Belasco and taken to Limbo. In the Magik miniseries, she spends years trapped there, battling demons, being trained by alternate versions of Storm and Kitty Pryde, and slowly turning into a sorceress. She even creates her soul sword, made from her own life force, and becomes the ruler of Limbo. But every time she uses her magic, she risks becoming the very monster she's trying to fight. Later, she becomes part of the New Mutants, where she starts to find a sense of family and purpose again. But her darker side doesn't go away. During the Inferno storyline, her connection to Limbo causes a full-scale demon invasion of New York, and she ends up reverting to her 6-year-old self to stop it. Then she dies from the legacy virus, but of course, this being comics, she comes back. And when she does, she's more powerful than ever. She eventually even hosts part of the Phoenix Force and becomes a key player in major events like Avengers vs. X-Men and Axe Judgment Day. More recently, she handed Limbo over to Madeline Pryor, aka the Goblin Queen, hoping to move on from that part of her life. But with stories like Dark Web stirring up chaos, it's likely that Illyana's past will come back to haunt her again. That kind of emotional weight, mixed with her mystical might, makes her one of Marvel's most layered and underrated characters, and the perfect person to spotlight in the next phase of the MCU. What's especially exciting is that if Marvel plays this right, Magik could be the perfect character to bridge multiple corners of the universe. She's a mutant, so she helps bring in the X-Men. She's a sorceress, so she connects to Doctor Strange and all the magical lore. She's literally the ruler of Limbo, so she's got ties to hell, demons, and even multiversal chaos. And with someone like Anya Taylor-Joy in the role, the MCU has a real chance to create something powerful. She's got the acting chops, the presence, and the built-in fan support to carry a supernatural X-Men spin-off or even headline a Midnight Sun story. If done right, she could be the unexpected heart of Marvel's next era, tying together mutants, magic, and multiverse mayhem all at once. And that's that for today's video, folks. Please like our video, share the video with your family and friends, and subscribe to our channel for more updates on movies and TV shows like this one. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in our next video.